Hello friends, this is the last video of Proverbs 29. We'll be looking at the last 9 verses here. Starting at verse 19, it says, "Servants cannot be corrected by mere words. Though they understand, they will not respond. Do you see someone who speaks in haste? There is more hope for a fool than for them. A servant pampered from youth will turn out to be insolent." That means rebellious. "An angry person stirs up conflict, and a hot-tempered person commits many sins. Pride brings a person low, but the lowly in spirit gain honor. The accomplices of thieves are their own enemies. They are put under oath and dare not testify. Fear of man will prove to be a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is kept safe. Many seek an audience with a ruler, but it is from the Lord that one gets justice. The righteous detest the dishonest, the wicked detest the upright." So you can see that there are a total of 5 verses highlighted. The first 3 in I suppose that's purple, a light shade of purple, and the last 2 in green. And those are the color distinction is due to the difference in themes that they seem to be conveying, in my opinion. And so the first 3, I think, relate to one another because the theme that it invokes, in my opinion, is that of entitlement. It is often said that those who grow up in an environment in which they are given an immense amount of freedom, very little restraint, an abundance of privileges, and everything that comes with that. Those are the individuals that perhaps might find it difficult to conduct themselves in an orderly manner because they've been given so much, and they find no incentive in governing themselves in an honorable way because they recognize that their privilege gives them the ability to do whatever they choose to do. And that's why, kind of like we were talking about in the last video, it's rare. It is very, 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 very important that that as individuals, we display to our children the importance of abiding by certain principles, certain standards, certain expectations, regardless of what freedoms we may be able to give them. Wealth in this world, that's one of the main reasons why wealthy people um, often find themselves in trouble because they they have they tend to wrongly assume that their wealth allows them to gives them the right to do certain things. They essentially have adopted the mindset that they can buy their way, through life. They can buy legal defenses when they choose to break the law. They can buy, companies and businesses that seek to threaten their wealth, and the list goes on. But God does not operate like that, and ultimately, He will hold those people to account. And so that's why it's so important that we teach our children principle. And sometimes, I think I think we ought not do it in an authoritarian way. I think, there are some children who learn best by experience, and so, I think in certain situations, it's very appropriate to allow them to be stubborn and figure out for themselves the difference between right and wrong, so that they, in their own desperation, might come to embrace humility and yield themselves to the instruction of God. And so that's the first point there. So I'm gonna try to synthesize that. Uh, let me actually. So privilege cannot contribute to a successful lifestyle. We can, there are a lot of ways you can word it, but that seems to be decent. And very quickly, these last two, only God can protect. Only God can render justice. Only God can ensure that fairness prevails in a situation. And so, when yes, we can put a certain amount of faith in our system, but we recognize, at least we should recognize that our system is flawed and that it does not always render justice for the individuals involved. And we see that today. We see that in the individuals who are whose lives are being threatened by the government, due to the death penalty being decided in their situations, unfortunately. So ultimately, we have to trust God. We have to trust God that He, in His power and His authority, will ultimately ensure that justice prevails.